All right. Good afternoon. Hello. I am Thesha Jenkins, and I am a trainer, speaker, and consultant. And I am going to be bringing a series of case studies about the amazing people that I get the opportunity to work with. I work with nonprofits, small businesses that are service-based, and also emerging leaders. Why? To help them to be able to better express themselves, to deal with challenges, to be able to connect, and also to build relationships. And I have had the amazing opportunity to work with my guest that I have here today, Miss Loretta Williams Gurnell. And so I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. And the whole purpose of this conversation that we're having today is to do a case study about what it's like to work with me as your consultant or trainer. So Loretta, thank you so much for agreeing to have this conversation with me today.
You are welcome, Thesha, and it's a pleasure to be here just to see and to witness your evolution. And so it's wonderful.
Awesome. Well, please let people know exactly who Loretta Williams Gurnell is and what it is that you do.
I'm a problem solver. I'm a critical thinker, and I am one who will help individuals who are wanting to build their business from ideation to implementation, or nonprofit leaders who are wanting to build their board leaders and also connect with the community in innovative ways that causes them to become champions for their mission, or that one person or persons who are thinking about going into entrepreneurship or authors, and they're kind of scared about taking that initial step. I'm the person that helps you identify your project, the team, and your needs of those projects and teams from ideation to implementation. Loretta Williams Gurnell.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so with all of that going on, it definitely sounds like you have a lot of irons in the fire, and those irons are very sharp. So here's the thing. When a leader such as yourself decides, hey, I think I want to partner or work with a consultant or a trainer, what what uh, what thoughts are going through your mind? Or in the case when you and I partnered together, tell me a little bit about what was going on and why you decided that you wanted to bring someone on to assist.
Well, the year 2020, so we know that this video will be evergreen. It'll go worldwide. It'll be in Ghana, it'll be into, Kenya, Senegal. But when they look at this, they understand that the time that we're in a world pandemic. And the particular group that I was working with at that time and still working with now, because they asked me to continue after our summer program, were particularly athletes. And athletes, these scholar athletes, were Black athletes, and they happened to be male athletes. And what we were finding is that in our racial divides and all of the uproars with the mass murders and the killings, and we were seeing boys becoming more, not just raised, but more informed. They were becoming more educated. And what happened was schools, the academic landscape of how schools was playing out changed. Your social interactions changed because we had to social distance. The activities ceased totally. So when you take away those activities from scholar athletes, and they're academically sound or not, they're just students, they had to figure out, how do I pivot? How do I show up in these spaces and become whole? So why did we choose Thesha as our emotional intelligence consultant? Is because I knew, one, we had to make and create some spaces, particularly for our sons, because we're raising two of those scholar athletes, spaces where they had a voice, where they could be able to identify with the emotional parts of them being social distance with their teams, being social distance with the school setting. And so at the end of the day, Thesha, I wanted them to have a space where they could come and talk about what was important to them, feel safe enough to share emotions that normally they don't share amongst their peers and or family, and then be able to channel that energy and turn around to do something constructive with it and not do harm to themselves or those that they love or those they don't know, so that they could focus on college admissions, getting back on track and performing in athletics, making sure that their academics were sound, so that they could earn a college degree with little to no debt through scholarships.
Awesome. You know, and as I hear you talk, I can tell that you are so very passionate about, you know, the young men that you are working with, the athletes that you are working with. And that's what, you know, one of the things I'm looking for when I'm looking for a client is someone who is passionate, someone who is committed to the work and the community in which they're working with, because then I know that they want the absolute best for those that they are serving. And so thank you for your passion and your energy in the work that you are doing. So we partnered and put on this program during the summer for young men who were athletes, being able to learn more about emotional intelligence, which is an area that I love, because it's more than just about emotions. Because a lot of times people think, oh, it's like we're going to sit around and sing Kumbaya. And then, you know, it's this skill that's not really needed. However, it's a soft skill. And I love what you say, it's an essential skill.
Oh, it's an essential. It's definitely
Yeah.
essential. I mean, these men, these young boys are going to be men, Thisha. They're going to be husbands. They're going to be fathers. If they can't channel their energy and their emotionals correctly now, what type of men, contributing citizens, husbands and fathers will they become? How will they be able to change and solve problems globally if they can't even change and change what's inside of them, or change what comes out of them after it comes out? So we've got to teach them now. I want to be known as the mother who embraced her sons, and one who saw her sons saw her embrace her husband's emotions. And so that they can be those men of valor who go out and lead. Because if you don't do it now, Thisha, the world is not going to teach them. They're going to harm them, because they're going to teach them about hurt and danger and reaction versus response. And we have enough of that. We see what that's doing to our communities.
Exactly, exactly. So the partnership occurs and the training happens. So
Yeah.
tell me what that experience was like in working with me, and the feedback that you received from the participants.
Okay. So I'll start with the process. You know, those of you who know Thisha, you don't know Thisha, one of the things is that she's not going to jump into a courtship without doing her homework. So it took a minute for her to decide that although she knew me as a business owner of Gap Management Group, she understood that when I go into something, I go all in, I do my research first, and then I come out shining and slinging, trying to get the best people to solve the problems with me. Although she knew that about me, it took a minute. She paused. She wasn't a sloth, but it was a pause in that where she wanted to make sure, one, that I was going to follow through and I was going to see it through no matter what. And I think, two, she just had to get a hold to my vision. But once you got a hold to my vision, the process was smooth. We made the decision, we went through our agreements, we decided on what you would do and what I needed you to do, and we came in the middle to make sure that the students, the athletes in which that we were going to actually be able to serve, we were able to serve them well. So the process was smooth once you got a hold to the vision.
And then as far as the impact, the effect that the training had on the attendees, was that what you envisioned?
Oh my goodness. So let's just say the impact was when I saw boys say verbally and on time and real time, I didn't know that about myself. I didn't understand that I could talk about that and it was okay. And this is not talking about anything that's really deep. This is just about talking about my feelings or my emotions. Or I may be angry because I don't want to do something. And why do I have to be nice? I just don't like you. But it's a result of you not being nice that keeps you from building healthy relationships. And so when we were able to talk about those things and be able to really assess and do a personal SWOT, I think it was great for them. I know it was great for their families, and it's going to be greater for the communities that they lead and serve in as scholar athletes. And that's the whole premise. how can I be a leader on a team if I don't even understand who I am as a leader? And that's whether I am a youth or an adult.
Exactly. And I think, I loved the aha moments with these young men being able to recognize about what it truly means to be a leader, being able to have that self-awareness. And
Yeah.
one of the activities that I love, one of the tools is the SWOT analysis. And just to watch the feedback and to actually literally watch them grow as they were doing that analysis.
Yes. 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 It was life-changing for us, all the adults, all of the coaches that were part of this, their parents, the feedback that we received. What I think this partnership was very good, Thisha, because both of us come from different spaces. This was very new for you to be in a group of this age, this particular gender. And it was new for me to take on a program like this. My world is STEM. And so, but there was a need. And there was a need that was so close to home that it was in my home. And so because I heard it from my own dudes, and then I did a quick survey, I did an assessment to see if persons would invest in this. So I literally developed an entire program where scholar athletes can come through. Not only do they understand about their emotional intelligence, but we teach them how to successfully apply for college, how to go through their FAFSA, how to go through and learn and earn about scholarships, and how to go into college as a person that understands time management, understands self-worth, and be able to manage this space so that they will earn a degree and not just attend college. Exactly. And come out hopefully debt-free. So, it was new. It's innovation in a world pandemic. We did. We saw a need, we saw a problem, and we said, we're going to get in it, and we solved it. But we did our research first, very strategic. And that's why we had the outcomes that we had.
Yes, excellent, excellent. So as we wrap up, and again, I thank you for taking out the time to have this conversation. So again, one of the areas I'm extremely passionate about is the emotional intelligence. And as I work with individuals and organizations, providing them information about emotional intelligence, about the importance of understanding what motivates us. As a certified behavioral consultant, having people to have a better understanding that if you're a D, this is why you may be motivated or demotivated, because I think that self-awareness is key. It is key. And so I'm extremely passionate about, again, working with nonprofits, service-based organizations, and emerging leaders to help them to understand the importance of self-awareness, the ability to manage themselves, their thoughts, their mindsets, and the importance of empathy. Because here's the thing, if 2020 has taught us nothing, and even beyond when this video will be out, is that I believe that it will change how we do relationships. So that's so extremely important for service-based industries, the nonprofit, and those who are going to be in leadership. And then finally, the importance around relationship building. As someone once said to me, they said that relationships are the new currency. And so when I partner with organizations and partner with individuals, those are hopefully the outcomes that occur, is that people walk away with an increased self-awareness. They walk away with the ability to be resilient and have that bounce back mindset, that they understand the importance of connection, and they also understand the importance of relationship. And so I am hopeful that that is what you and your amazing team walked away with after partnering with me.
And I will say that we did. And also, I think it was also illuminated because I'm one for, they have been peace to someone in the eyes of the summer. Oh, Loretta's pivoting just to service this particular group. But let me tell you, this is long-term for me. I don't start anything that I don't feel like it's worth something that's going to be long-term. And I'm happy to say that those students continued on with us in the fall. And the results that we are receiving from them being able to continue, and they will go to college and they will earn a degree. And the aha moments that they're receiving with those skills is that they understood the power of relationship. So they trusted us in the process to invest in us a small, minute for the summer. But then when it's time for us to make the decision, do you really want to go to school and are you really trying to go debt free? It's time to invest in what you believe is important. And their parents decided to do that. So we hold this athlete accountable and we hold the parent accountable, and then we hold our team accountable. But none of that could have happened if we didn't have a solid relationship. So I'm looking forward to what happens in 2021. I keep telling people that 2020 is still my year of clear vision.
Exactly. Well, as we get ready to close out, if you would just share, if someone was to say, hey, you know what? I've never worked with Thisha. Tell me a little bit about what that's like and what I can expect. So in about 30 to 45 seconds, just summarize what you would share with someone.
I would share is that if you want an authentic person who is a professional in all that she does, she puts her hand on it and it is blessed because she's going to make sure that it meets and it fits her own personal vision, then Thisha would be the person that you should consult with. If you're coming and you want to be held accountable for the things in which you have contracted with, then make sure that you hold each other accountable and then be willing to adjust if you have to in the process so that everyone in the process benefits. And I think that Thisha would be a great person to be able to do that as a professional to help you reach your goals.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And best wishes to you in all of your ventures. And kudos for the work that you're doing with the young men. I believe, as I was sharing with my coach and was telling her about the work around emotional intelligence. And, what she said was that is so needed. We do a lot of work with our young girls and with women. However, there has to be more work done with our young men and men. And talking about leadership, and I'm really wrapping up now, is that one of the things that came up for me, one of the other skills of emotional intelligence is social responsibility. Social responsibility. Yeah. And that is the ability to act on behalf of others, even if it doesn't directly benefit you. And that's right. That is a skill that is definitely needed. That many times as a leader, you will have to go places and do things that may not directly benefit you, but what is going to benefit the greater good. And so with all of that said, is that, bringing on sometimes an outside consultant is being willing to look and say, this particular expertise is needed. So I'm going to bring this person on so that they can add value to what's already in place. Yes. Would you agree?
I totally agree. Everything that I do, I collaborate in. Yes. The only way that I've gotten to the end game is through collaboration. So it's just a part of who I am. And I believe in it wholeheartedly. I set the example, I set the responsibility, and I hold each other of us accountable. But there's no way that I would have gotten to where we are today in either the nonprofit world or the business without positive and healthy collaborations. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for watching this. And in order to get in contact with me, you can reach me at www.thiciajenkins.com. That's THECIAJENKINS.com. Well, it has been a pleasure, and I will see you on the next round as we do case studies, and you get a chance to be introduced to the amazing people that I get the amazing, amazing opportunity to collaborate with, to help them to be able to better express themselves, work through challenges, make connections, and build relationships. Thank you. Just a second. Oh.